the money multiplier. So we are going to attempt to answer a number of questions here. How does the multiple expansion of the money supply process work? So this is a very important section. And then what is the money multiplier? Why is it only potential money creation? So we will immediately go to a chart that is going to help us explain all these slides and put everything together. Now, we've already talked about the example where someone has a cash deposit. Now, if you have 100,000 and you deposit it in a particular bank, I really plead with you to pay attention because this will explain the whole concept of multiplier and will put together the concept of creation of money by banks and so on. So you have 100,000, you take it to a bank and you drop it. So here, for example, it says you have a new deposit of 100. Now what happens is that we are under the assumption that the desired reserve is 10%. In other words, the bank is going to keep 10% of this money. So you can see that 10% is 10,000, and what happens is that the other 90,000 is given out as loan. So if you give it out as loan to someone and they take it to another bank, to bank A, and deposit it in bank A to do transaction, what happens is that bank A is going to keep 10% of 90,000, which is 9,000, and bank A is going to give out 81,000 as loan. In other words, give out the excess reserve as loan after keeping the desired reserve. It's going to give out the excess reserve as loan to someone else who may now take the 81,000 to bank B, drop 81,000 as a new deposit. Bank B is going to keep 10% of 81,000, which is 8,100, and give out 72,900, which is 90% of this amount, give it as loan. The person will take it to bank C. Bank C will now keep 10% of the 72,900 as reserve. Here you have it, and then give out the remaining 90% as loan. Now, someone else will take it to bank D. Bank D will keep 10% of that amount and give out the other as loan. And the cycle continues to the point where there is nothing else to be given out as loan. So that is how the whole creation. And here we are saying that 100,000 new cash deposit at this particular bank, at this bank, has the potential to create 1 million in new deposits. Now, if you go around adding this, 100 plus 90 plus 81,000 plus 72, by the time the cycle completes, you have $1 million, and that is what banks do. Out of thin air, it's just created by that process, and you have an extra $1 million in an economy. So this is what we mean by the multiple expansion process, and that takes us to the whole concept of the multiplier effect. You deposit 100,000, it is multiplied, and you end up with $1 million in the economy. So what is the money multiplier? The multiplier measures the potential amount of demand deposit money that the banking system generates with each dollar of reserve. And this is the equation. So you look at the money multiplier, it's simply 1 divided by the desired reserve ratio. In this example we had, the desired reserve ratio was 10%. So the money multiplier here is 1 over 10%. And if we move on, we can clearly see that the larger the desired reserve ratio, the smaller the money multiplier. In other words, if the desired reserve ratio is 10%, you have 1 over 10. If it's 50%, it's 1 over 50. So the larger, the smaller the money multiplier. So if the reserve ratio is much smaller, let's say it's 2%, then the money is multiplied beyond the 1 million that we just mentioned. The following formula can be used to measure the potential impact on demand deposits of an initial change in reserve. So we are looking at the initial change in reserve. So we are saying potential deposit. Now note the word potential deposit is simply the excess reserve multiplied by the money multiplier. So if the excess reserve is, let's say, 90,000, so you deposited 100, the desired deposit, let's come here, you have the desired reserve. If the desired reserve is 10,000, it means we will be multiplying the 90,000 that you have, which is the excess reserve, by the money multiplier. It will be 90 multiplied by 1/10 to give you the potential deposit creation. Now, why do we call it potential? It's because it has the potential to attain that amount, but it is not 100% certain that it's going to attain that amount. Why? Because some banks may choose not to lend all of their excess reserves. So, of course, this will reduce the chain reaction by the amount of excess reserve not loaned out. Some borrowers, of course, may choose not to spend all of their money, all of the money that they newly acquired from bank deposits. They may choose to just leave it there or to just have it with them. That is why we call it potential. Other borrowers may keep some of their loan as currency in their pockets. So it is not certain that it's going to become 1 million. However, it has the potential of becoming 1 million. So that's basically the whole idea under this topic. We have talked about how the multiplier expansion of money supply works. This is a very important topic. It's important for you to become really comfortable understanding this, and that will really help you understand the whole idea behind this topic. Remember, we did mention in the previous video, we talked about this whole system, the fractional reserve system. Understanding how money is multiplied, how it's created, helps you fully understand the system. Okay? I'll see you in class. Have fun.